Daymond John is the founder of FUBU and is best known as an investor on the ABC TV series Shark Tank. He went from starting to work after his parents divorced when he was only 10 to launching his own clothing company from his mother's house in Queens and becoming a multi-millionaire with a net worth of $300 million. Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 and 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 and 9. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Daymond John, and my take on his top 10 rules to success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, hustle.
I met this one kid. He had 100,000 people that follow him on Instagram, and every Monday morning, and Sway knows the story, every Monday morning he would time-lapse him painting a white shirt and create a nice, beautiful piece of art. Then he would tell everybody on there, you can get this shirt for the next 24 hours. It's $50. And if you buy one or buy 100, it's up to you. You'll never see the shirt again. On Tuesday, everybody prepays for the shirt they want. He takes their money over to the screen printer, copies all the screens, and mails them out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He did $1.2 million this year. That's not having any money. It's building a community.
Yeah.
It's the hustle. You know, so people, entrepreneurs, African American, we've been an entrepreneur from the day one. It's just called hustling. You know what I mean? We're just not following. We may not have been filing the right taxes on that, but we've been doing it already. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I like how he said may not. He don't want to snitch on nobody. I get that.
May not following the
but I'm not talking about illegal. I'm talking about, you know, listen, even regular. A lot of time, and you know, I think that hits a quick point. A lot of times, I can't invest in people because they're not set up for me to invest in them. They've been doing business 5 years, but all their receipts is in shoe boxes and all kind of stuff. So they're just not set up to take money in. Mm-hmm. You all right? So I'm not even talking about illegal investment. I'm talking about real money, real people.
Rule number 2, listen to your customers.
You have to always listen to your customers. You know, one of the stats that MIT put out is that 90% of the most profitable products in corporations are created due to customer complaints. By listening to the people that are supporting you. And you have to create that. You have to listen to your customer just as much as they're listening to you. And also, everybody's a customer. You know, if you're the person that thinks a window shopper is not a customer, no, the window shopper may be that person that may be aspiring for your brand. They can't afford it now, but they keep going out going, when I get some money, I'm getting that Hervé Leger dress. When I get some money, I'm getting that Hervé Leger. And they're talking about it well. When you push those people away, oh, you don't have any money, get out of here. You know what they say? That dress is shit. Don't ever buy those dresses. They're shit.
Yeah.
They are some of the, you know what they're called? They're called critics.
Yeah.
Right? None of these movie critics we ever see has ever shot a movie in their life.
It drives me nuts.
But they're critics, right? And they're valued.
Rule number 3, activate the power of broke.
What would you say was the biggest challenge once you started to really take off and grow?
Yeah.
Obviously, as a small business owner, when a trend hits and everyone wants your product, how did you handle that, and what was the biggest challenge?
Scalability was very hard because it was, how do I go and finance and underwrite, you know, these things? You know, where will I get the capital? What's the turnaround time? And I didn't have any financial intelligence at the time.
Right.
So, you know, my journey.
You could sell and you could hustle and
I could sell, I could hustle, but, you know, my journey, I almost failed and lost everything several times throughout that journey because I just didn't know how to use the tool of money.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to try to acquire all that knowledge within the same time. How do I acquire the knowledge of branding, marketing, distribution, manufacturing, warehousing, shipping, financial intelligence, customer support, you know, return on goods, you know, consumption, you know what I mean? It's so hard. So, of course, I had to start leveraging as well and creating a bunch of strategic relationships because I knew I needed that. I knew I needed that because, you know, listen, you know, when you tell somebody to stop smoking, you know, a couple of times and after the 10th time, they know they already have a problem with smoking. They don't want to listen to you. Listen, forget it. I'm not even going to address it. I'm going to start smoking. When you have a business, you have to answer the call or you're closed.
Right.
right? So you have to plug the dam. And I knew I had to plug the dam. So I started just creating a lot of strategic relationships, and that's actually the power of broke. Because it is the fact that, you know, if I would have had money when I went to those video sets, I would have paid the director, I would have paid the producer, I would have paid the rapper, everybody else, right? If you gave me $20,000 at that time, and I heard that LL Cool J will wear my stuff for $5,000, and the director wants $5,000 to wear it, they're getting the money.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're going to wear it. But I got into 30, 40 videos with $0, right? Because I had no way to do it. And I had nothing to lose. You couldn't take anything from me. I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So
you couldn't even give me your shirt.
Right.
You took it back.
I took it back, right? And I said, I got you later,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Old Dirty Bastard said, you got me now. But you know, when you're working with the power of broke, it does a couple of things. Number one, it makes sure that you learn the process yourself. You can't afford to hire anybody else. So all those people out there who pay $40,000 for a website when it really costs $5,000, right?
Or you can leverage it by bartering or something.
Whatever the case is, right? So you have to learn the process. And what happens during that period of time of learning the process is that when and if and hopefully you get to the point that you are successful, nobody can tell you lies. You can't have somebody say, well, I'm not going to tell you about shipping because, you know, you're firing me and I got to go work it out yourself. I said, get the hell out of the way. I've been doing this for 8 years myself, right? You know, you get and you learn the process, number one. Number two is because you don't have a lot of capital, you focus on the only thing that you can do. You don't drown in opportunity. You don't take a bunch of money and go, we should try a bunch of stuff. Here you go. Here's 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 here.
Go.
Yeah, you go. All right, what are we going to do with this hat right now? You know, so that's the process. And that process is very, very important. Also, you learn and it brings out the character of who you have around you when you operate the power of broke.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if you're busy, let's open a business today. Let's go take a $100,000 loan. Well, what happens when the money goes away? Because when I didn't have anything, people worked with me for free, and I saw who rose to the challenge. I saw who jumped ship, right? I saw who were problem solvers and problem creators, and that's the process of activating the power of broke. Because to tell you the truth, the people who activate the power broke more than anybody else are the people who are successful, because that's how they stay successful.
Rule number 4, love what you do.
The Red Lobster bit, humility, like willing to do anything to get a paycheck. Tell me about that part of your life for a second.
Yeah, you know, the Red Lobster bit came around at a very tough time. I had already, I can't say failed, because I learned a long lesson, a good lesson too. It took a long time. It was 5 years that I was operating my van company in Queens, in the boroughs. We'll pick up people for $1 on the bus stop, on the bus route. So we'd make $300 a day. But if you look at maintenance gas and you look at sometimes the Department of Transportation gives you a ticket, when you look at over the year, I basically made, after all that, $20,000. Right? I cleared $20,000. But after 5 years of doing that, I realized that if I went back to Red Lobster, because I started there as a waiter or something, I would make more money and I would not take my job home with me. And I decided to do that at another time when my friends who I grew up with, they decided they turned to the wrong sides of the street. They were selling drugs. And I didn't want to be associated with it. If you ever look at the Hype Williams movie, Belly, that was about all my friends. And I decided to go to Red Lobster and work. They would laugh at me because they were offering me jobs. And then on top of that, and a lot of people want to quit their day job because they have this dream or this concept. On top of that, I started making hats at night. I would get up in the morning at 10 o'clock and go to work at Red Lobster at 12. I'd finish at 10. I'd sew hats till 1. I'd package them till 3. And then in the morning, I'd wake up from 8 and deliver them up until 10. And I did that for 2-3 years, but I knew I had to keep the lights on, right? Wow. And on top of working there, my friends, who were the tough guys, at that time, the perception of people who were in fashion were only gay guys. I have no issue with that. I mean, that's fine, but I wasn't gay. So I was actually treated like, Daymond, what's wrong with you? You're working at Red Lobster, you're gay, you're this, you're that. But that passion and that love for what I was doing, like, I got a high to see somebody wear a product of mine and come back the next day and say, everybody loves it, can I buy another one? It was just something that was so special about it, and I just absolutely fell in love with what I was doing.
Also, if you want to learn from other leaders in the Black community, check out my 254 Black Excellence series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
Why are you doing things? You have to ask yourself, right? And that is your discipline, right?
Rule number 5, make sacrifices.
What do you say to an individual, though, who has an interest in entrepreneurship, but has that responsibility to be the caretaker of their family, but still wants to go and make that jump into entrepreneurship?
Well, the best part about being an entrepreneur, as I said in the Power of Broke, is you need to start off with zero. You know, start off with zero to little to nothing, because it forces you to figure it out. It forces you to find your community. If your theory of I need money to make money, what happens is you end up spending money on a bunch of people who end up, their job is to sell you, that they can build your website, to sell you, and then you never are really in charge. You've given somebody else the keys to the car, right? So yes, it's a sacrifice. I wish I could say it's really easy. It's not, because you know what? I started in 89. I closed the business 3 times from 89 to 92 because I kept running out of money, but I ran out of $500. I ran out of $1,000. And what did I do? I stopped going to dinner a bunch of times. I sold a couple of my pieces of furniture, my television, and I moved a bunch of friends into my house and charged them like Airbnb, you know, so they can help me pay the mortgage. So I was charging my friends $50 a room. For a week, per room, right? But I had to make sacrifices. And I understand if you're a caretaker for your family, or listen, you're just trying to keep your kids out of trouble. But you got to find the way to get a couple of dollars here and there to start these businesses, and then try to go out and build this community.
Rule number 6, use the power of networking.
Let's say you're just starting out and maybe you don't even know what your business is yet, so you don't have customers.
Sure.
Where can people go to start to find other people like them who would believe in business, or someone would believe in their ideas? Let's say if their spouse or their kids or their other friends are in the corporate world and just don't get it.
Yeah, first of all, I mean, the easiest thing, of course, is going to be on social networks, right? Go and start hashtagging and learning these little groups of people. I always say there's nothing going to be new in this world again. And a social network is only a network that may have been a bar 50 years ago, or a train station 100 years ago, or a gas station 50 years ago, and start finding these social networks. And then when you can't, go out and network. Networking is one of the most powerful ways to extend your brand. Because if, I give the example often that if you come to me and ask me about, hey, I need a plumber. Well, my cousin could be a plumber, but he kicked me in my ass, when I was 8 years old. He burnt the turkey at the last Thanksgiving dinner. I have some emotions about him. I don't know if I want to hook you up with him, because if he screws it up, then you're going to be looking at me. But if I met you at a bar the other night and you happen to have a plumbing business, and I'll go, this girl Marie, she seemed like she had a really good business. I don't know her that well. Maybe you should give her a call. I've already given you the disclaimer. I've given you the advertising, and that's how networking goes. I mean, that's what a social network is for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So I think that when people are out there and they don't know what they want to do, I think first of all they should go into a field where they would do it for free, right? And they're fascinated and they have a passion about it, and then look for like-minded people around there.
Rule number 7, set goals.
What would you say is a ritual that as a non-negotiable for you every single day? Something you do in the morning or at night or throughout the day? Something every day that you do?
I read my goals. I read my goals, not every day, but I read them 5 days a week. I read them in the morning when I wake up, and I read them at night before I go to sleep. I have 9 goals that range from business to health to family. 6 of them expire every 6 months. And and 2 of them 6 of them expire in 6 months. 2 of them expire in 5 years, and 1 expires in 20. And they're very, very detailed in what they are. And the reason is I want them to be the last thing I think about when I go to bed. And I reset them every 6 months. But I notice that as the date comes up, I start to have this anxiety, all right?
If you haven't achieved it yet.
Yeah, if you haven't achieved it. And most of them you're not going to achieve if you really set aggressive ones, but you're going to get there 50, 60, 70%, right? Yeah. Bang, then reset it for a longer period of time with a higher goal to reach.
Okay. What got you into setting goals, or what's the process for you, and why is this so important?
The third time it settled in The third time, I read this book the first time when I was 16. The third time I read the book, I was 19. I read the book every year, Think and Grow Rich.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
They're doing a documentary right now. Did they approach you?
No, they didn't. I mean, they sent me some leather bags, some really special ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, they maybe they don't know how to get a hold of me. It's pretty hard.
Well, if you want, let me know.
Yeah.
They reached out to me to do an interview. So.
I would love it.
Yeah. It's a great book.
Absolutely.
Got a couple of them up there, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many editions.
Yeah.
You know, if we can only be so lucky to be like Napoleon Hill, right?
It's
amazing. So that's where it is, and the ritual is pretty simple. It's you know. If I say, hey, I need to lose X amount of pounds, you know, by this date, I'm going to, and then what's the process? Well, I'm going to drink 6 bottles of water. I'm going to drink 1 green drink a day. I'm going to do cardio in the morning. And if I can slip in some weight training at night, I'm not going to eat out to 7 p.m. I'm not going to eat fried foods and or meat. And in return for that, I will be healthier and I will be able to live a longer, prosperous life and be in my daughter's lives longer. And to make sure that I'm there for them. So, you know, what is the goal? How are you going to get to that point? When does it expire?
Yep.
You know, and what is the reward for the goal?
Sure.
Rule number 8, use haters to fuel your success.
You got a song called Haters on this project. I'm going to play it, but just real briefly, why did you put this on and what was the messaging you wanted to get across?
Listen, you know, a lot of people want to be something. They want to be something great to everybody, and you can. And actually, when you have haters in the world, they actually can fuel your success. You know, you're not, all right, we got to deal with one of two things. Either get rid of all of them, and you're not going to do that, or find a way to use them. And when you see somebody who's really hating, we all know the person who's hating in the hood, who's always talking about the next hot person, where they keep talking about somebody, I'm like, yo, I need to call that dude. I know he's making some moves. Because you know what I'm saying? They're like, they're cheerleaders for you.
Yeah.
And I just want people, you know, like when I put this thing together, I put it together as a day in your life. You're going to visualize when you dream. You're going to wake up. You're going to try to rise. You're going to have haters. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to use these X amount of words, which can either empower you or hurt you, you know, because we only use about 7,000 of the 100,000 words in the English language. You only use about 7,000 of them per day. So which one of those words are you using? Are you using hate? Are you using love? Are you using scaling? Are you using I'm never going to get money? So that's exactly why I brought haters. It's a reality. Haters are going to be around, and often it's going to be in your family, right? And you just got to deal with it.
Rule number 9, take care of your health.
I know you just went through a health scare. And you discovered a nodule on your thyroid.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that experience, because it sounds like you had an executive physical that was just like kind of routine. You didn't feel anything was wrong.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that you know and everybody knows, and I know you know, but you know, because of people do this, what they call it, clickbait and all that kind of crap. I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Yes.
I'm going to discos like I normally do. I'm showing my age. I'm doing the damn thing, turning it up. Whoop, whoop. Now, I don't have nothing to worry about.
Yes.
Right. But what happened was I was sitting with a friend of mine named Bernie Human, a legendary guy. He managed Muhammad Ali, and he found a small group named Siegfried and Roy and brought them to Vegas. And he said to me one day, he said, with all the money you have, why don't you get executive physicals? And I said, what the hell is executive physical?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I go to the normal guy. I mean, he grabs my bean bag, he tells me to cough, and then he, you know, takes my blood.
That's it. Yes. Totally.
I'm fine. He said, no, get an executive physical. I said, I go check into it. So an executive physical is an extensive physical. It costs about $10,000. So I know 99% of the world. They can't afford Coach bags and Gucci, but they can't afford an executive physical, of course, right? That's not where they're going to spend their money. They put you through so many machines in one day, and then they tell you what's going on. So they're looking through the machines at me, and they look at these 2 veins here. I can't ever get the word right. Cardinary, whatever veins here. They notice a little nodule right here. And they say, hey, you know, they give me my diagnosis, my report. I go to my general doctor. They say, hey, they have a nodule. It's an inch big. They do a checkup on me, and they do a, what's it called?
Biopsy.
Biopsy. And they say, hey, this is one of those biopsies that come back where we don't know what's going on with it. So you know what? There's 50% chance that this thing could be cancerous, 50% not. You don't need your entire thyroid. You should get half of it cut off. If you were 90 years old, I would say don't do this, but you're 50 years old, so you should probably check this out. I go to the doctor. I go to sleep. He takes half of it out. 2 weeks later, he says, it was stage 2 cancer.
Wow.
I would have never known about this, but I didn't miss a beat. I'm telling you, I was back doing whatever I do right out of the surgery 2 days later. And the reason why I decided to share this information is not because necessarily everybody can get an executive physical,
Yes.
but they can get colonoscopies, they can get pap smears, they can get endoscopies, all the things that they need to do every single year. Because if you catch things early, there's a really good chance that you can get rid of it. And all these people who put their head in the sand and go, I don't want to hear about it, I don't want to know, it's not going to go away.
Yes.
Right? So if you can do that, that's what success is. Success is access. Success is access to information on maybe how you can live a better life, how you can spend more time with your family, how you can make more money, how you can go to the island or, every single year, or how you can spend 6 months working and 6 months with your kids. Success is access to information. It's not money. Because I know a lot of really, and I joke, but I'm serious, I know a lot of filthy rich people that are miserable.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is have fun.
Want to become Santa? $10. Oh, come on. We love you anyway. $10. They're normally 15. Sunstash is here. They're from Shark Tank. I pitched them on Shark Tank. Sunstash is here from Shark Tank. They're from that show Shark Tank. Hi guys, hey, Santa Claus from Shark Tank. You ever saw Shark Tank? Did you see that on Shark Tank? You ever watch Shark Tank? Come on.
What?
Shark Tank, it's a show.
What is that?
TV show. What's happening? $10, man.
Yo, for 10?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no.
You ever saw this on Shark Tank? This was on Shark Tank.
No way, I'm not buying that. No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Did you ever see this guy on Shark Tank?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, then you're a businesswoman. Oh, there you go. How you doing there? You only 15 at $10 for today.
I got 2.
2? Oh, man. There you go. I'll give you 3 for that. Now you did that.
We want 2.
1, 2? There you go. There's another one. Can you fix my bell? It got caught in my beard. I need a mother's touch for that. You know how Oprah does it? You got a sun stash, and you got a sun stash. You got a sun stash. Get in the picture, come on. We need some ladies in here. We need some Mrs. Claus. And you got a sun stash. No, Santa, yay! My voice is gone. Thank God, happy holidays. Hey. Happy holidays.
Now, I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video? And write down in the comments below when you're going to take action on that takeaway this week. When you schedule in what day, what time, and what place you're going to take action, you have a 91% chance of actually following through, compared to just 35% if you just got motivated but never created a plan. And when you share your plan and have accountability, you give yourself an even higher chance of following through. So in the comments below, write down your single biggest takeaway as well as your specific plan of action, because I want to celebrate with you.
With this day and age of social media and technology, where there is no barrier to entry anymore of meeting and getting out to people, you can have what we call a proof of concept and test your idea. So I go through there step by step on what to do. So now in any business, no matter what, you need to have a proof of concept, meaning, hey, I may think that my cupcakes are tasty, but let me see how many people buy them.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't even make a cupcake, I'm sure you can film a 30-second video on your phone and tell of you making it or telling people about it. And you can get proof of concept if you have 10,000 people views your video.
Right.
Whatever, likes, whatever the case is, right? And then you take that and then improve on it and start the process, right? Before, it wasn't that easy necessarily.
Right.
You know, before when I made a shirt, I had to go and either sell it on the corner, sell it to somebody, and then I had to find the person the next day to sell it to them again. And then, or if I sold it to the store, who would they sell it to? Who walked by and pick it up? Unless I'm going to sit in the store all day.
See.
Was it a woman? Was it a man? Was it a kid? Did they buy it for themselves? Was it a gift? Did they buy it to wash their car with? I have no idea. Did they haggle over the price? Now, you know. You're on the computer, you go, boop. Oh, somebody bought it. It's an 18-year-old kid, lives in California, loves a skateboard, has a pit bull, and has a bad case of dandruff.
Exactly.
Right? And so this is where we are today. So you can test your concepts very, very easily, and you can then be more equipped to go out to the world. And you'll find funding. There's so many ways of getting funding now.
If you want to change your life in 30 days for free, check the link right below me. And if you want to see the top 10 I did on Mark Cuban, check the video right there next to me. Continue to believe. I'll see you there.